making the prosthetic directly onto your face. For the teeth, we're going to use acrylic nails that you can find at any drugstore. And the adhesive I'm using here is actually my homemade prosthetic gelatin. You can find a video on how to make this prosthetic gelatin yourself in the description below. To adhere your exposed zombie teeth, dab a little bit of the prosthetic gelatin onto your face and then quickly press the nail into the gelatin. Now, this alone is not going to hold it onto your face very well, but after you've gotten all of the teeth on all the way out to the exterior of your mouth, go ahead and rub the gelatin across the top and around the sides of your mouth, which is going to help seal them on. Once you have applied all of the teeth for the upper layer of the zombie's jaw, go ahead and bring that prosthetic gelatin around the sides of the face, but make sure not to get it on directly onto the jaw, straight down from your lower lip. Then bring this prosthetic gelatin down your neck and onto your chest, since we're going to have a pretty gory mess going on. Reapply a second layer of the gelatin, which is going to stick to the layers below, as well as have much more texture now that it's started to cool. Make sure to also apply the gelatin to a lot of the flat surfaces of your face to kind of break that up. And then seal it all in with the theatrical setting powder. This is going to make it so that it'll stop sticking to your brush when you apply your makeup later on. Don't forget to seal the layers on your neck and chest as well. Don't worry about making a mess with the powder because it's going to get a lot worse here pretty quick. The next step is to black out your lips and chin. Now, I used a black grease paint here just because it has a much better and more solid coat. However, you can use water-based paints, alcohol-activated paints, anything that you have, really, just as long as you get a really nice solid coating to really eliminate that jaw. And don't forget to pull up the edges of the prosthetic on the side so you can kind of get that black a little bit underneath there. And then bring the black all the way down your neck. Now we want to go in and set the foundation for our zombie flesh tone. And this product is my absolute favorite zombie product. It is called Dead Flesh by Witchy. And you can get it at most Halloween stores, but I absolutely love it for all of my zombie transformations because it gives you that more gray skin tone, but still has enough flesh in there to kind of make it feel like you were once alive. Make sure to bring it down onto your neck and chest as well. Now we want to give that prosthetic that ripped and kind of torn element. And it's really easy to do. This doesn't adhere very tightly to the skin, so you can just take a tool like I'm doing here with the end of a makeup brush and just kind of dig underneath that prosthetic to peel it up to give it that really awesome and satisfying ripped, torn flesh look. When you start peeling back the prosthetic from the face, make sure that you wipe off the end of your tool each time to get that paint off so you don't get it on any part of your face that you don't intend to have that paint. So satisfying. Look at it. Yes. You can go back in with the Dead Flesh paint color to kind of fill in any of those spots that did have some really good gapped areas, just to make sure that you don't have any skin tone coming through. Now we want to give some of this really great texture we've created with the gelatin more dimension so it pops from the face. And doing this, just take the same black paint and kind of low light, you could say, or dig in and fill in the gaps, any of the tears, underneath a lot of the ridges, and it'll really bring out a lot of this texture. Don't worry about it being really one-dimensional because we're going to build upon this. Still working with that black paint, we now want to black out our orbital socket. So go all the way up onto the top of your eyebrow and bring it all the way down across the top of the cheekbone and then fill that in nice and solid. I used a tissue paper to wipe away some of the black because I want to add some more dimensional colors. And I did end up wiping off more than I wanted to, but don't worry because again, we're gonna go in and add that back in later. Now we want to take a red paint and go in along all of those black elements we had added earlier and just add this irritation. It could be from ripped flesh, from dried blood, your zombie, it really can be anything. But mostly you want to focus around all of the wounds, and in this case around our ripped away mouth, because that's going to add just more contrast between the ripped away part and what we have blacked out. Now we want to take our stippling sponge and use colors from a bruise palette or a zombie palette, which is going to be more of your pea greens, purples, mustard yellows, and like deep bruise reds, and stipple along the edges of the skin. And this is going to bring in a lot of that rotted element and make the flesh much more dimensional than just that flat dead color. Go ahead and bring in some of that red paint as well as your stippled colors into the eye socket. We'll add some more black later, but this is going to help it make it look just less like you just painted straight black on your face and more like extremely sunken in skin. Now you can go back in with that black paint and dab over a lot of those deeper colors you've added. This is going to darken up the eye socket but still have some of that extra color in there. Finally, go back in with the witchy dead flesh color and just kind of dab it a little bit over the edges of the teeth and underneath the eye sockets, just to kind of re-highlight some of that flesh tone and soften the transition between a lot of the colors we've added and the actual zombie flesh. Pop in a pair of contacts and your zombie is complete. If you like, you can also add a little bit of extra zombie blood to this look to even take it to the next level and make it look like you've just finished your first zombie meal. Enjoy!